There
Hi,
we
we're live.
go.
And yes, we do need to leave early. Hi, everybody, GameHounds podcast. We do need to leave to make this a very short show. In fact, we even need to make it shorter than I originally told you, Nick, because I didn't take a shower yet. So I have to take a shower. Hi, everyone.
Hi,
Nick.
Corey, AC, for being in the chat early,
Eat-
in the chat before us.
Yeah. Um, so I have a date tonight, not with the boy, because he has a date tonight, not with me. He has a date tonight with his daughter to go see Le Seraphim, a K-pop band.
Hmm. Nice.
The things that you must do as a father. I have a date because prior to Le Seraphim announcing their date and the tickets going on sale, he and I had purchased tickets to go see John Cleese together. So I decided to keep the John Cleese tickets, and I'm going with a friend of mine who used to work with me. And she and I are meeting in San Jose uh, tonight and going to go see John Cleese together.
So is that like a stand-up routine that he
Mhm.
does? Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
it's a what's the name? I forget the name of the show. It's like I'm Not Dead Yet or something like that. Let's see.
That's pretty good.
The show is
Because my first thought when you said that was like, oh, he's pretty old to be doing like a stand-up show over,
yep, Not Dead Yet.
everywhere.
John Cleese and the Holy Grail at 50. So he'll
Okay.
probably be telling stories of the filming of the Holy Grail and
Yeah.
yeah,
Nice.
which is fine by me.
I mean, that's why you would go see him, right? Is
Mhm.
because that's what you want. You're like, I don't care what else you've done in your other, 50 years of career.
Oh,
Just
that's not
just
true.
tell me about the Holy Grail.
Oh, no, I would absolutely go there for the same thing, for, Life of Brian.
Well, it's all Monty Python shit. That's my
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Oh, you want to talk about what you did post Monty Python? Shut up. Go back to Monty Python.
Um, yeah, Monty Python is, well, he's done a lot since then,
Oh,
obviously. I
yes,
mean,
I
he
know.
did,
He has.
what was the name of the
I
character
I
in
know him.
ESO? Corey Wallace, what's the name of the Caterwall cat?
Oh, I don't know. But yeah, I know him from outside Monty Python. I don't know him from Monty Python because that was before my time. I grew up seeing him in other things and then saw like the Holy Grail.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I saw him in the Holy Grail on TV on Channel 9 on our public television station. They played it. And I remember I was probably 10 and I was flipping channels the old-fashioned way, this way,
Wow.
and it was black and white. Black and white TV, flipping channels,
Wow.
and came across it and was like, "What is this?" And just watched it and was like, my mind, my 10-year-old brain, absolutely blown away. And then a few days later, my parents had said that they were up late one night after we'd gone to bed and were flipping channels. And he goes, there was this movie where a cow, they put a cow in a catapult and it was hilarious. I'm like, I saw that movie too. And it was funny. And it was like all of our minds went, and very few moments that I could look back and go, I was changed by that moment. I was changed by that flipping through and like,
Stumbling across something that
right. Up until
seeing it out
then,
of nowhere. No
up
no
until then,
precursor, no context.
no, up until then for me, comedy was stand-up comedy, was Bill Cosby records.
Hmm.
That to me was
Like no
comedy.
sitcom, no scripted comedy.
Yeah, I mean, there was like our TV shows comedy, but there was no like surreal,
Yeah, the absurdists.
absurdist,
Hmm.
where you're just going, wait, you're what? What? What are you doing? And yeah, after that, it was a very formative moment of who I became.
That
So,
reminds me a very opposite story. There was one time when I was a teenager, but like I was flicking through and I saw, oh yeah, Cartoon Network. It's 11 o'clock at night. They're showing repeats of Family Guy. I'm gonna turn that on and have it on in the background. I flick there, and it's not Family Guy. It's some movie. It's a live action movie. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And I'm watching it, and I'm like, is this like? And I keep going, opening the guide and going, this is Cartoon Network. This is Adult Swim, but this movie is awful. Movie is terrible. Like these people can't act. They can't do, like everything about it is terrible. Like, what the hell is this? And I eventually just flick away and watch something else. Sometime later, I realize that was The Room, the infamously bad movie, The Room.
Oh. Oh, really?
They were playing it, and
Oh,
like I started watching it, and I'm like,
this
this
is
is
awful.
just terrible.
Yeah. Um, what
So, should we get
else?
into it?
Yeah, exactly. Let's get into it. What have you
Yeah,
been playing? Oh, actually, you know what? Let's actually get into it for real with music and stuff. All right?
sure.
This podcast discusses video games, pop culture, and technology, and these podcasters have big, fat potty mouths. If you're younger than 18 or are easily offended, please stop this podcast now. Oh, and your mom said to take out the trash and do your homework.
Hello and welcome to GameHounds. GameHounds episode, what episode is it? 793. We are recording this on Sunday, September 14th, 2025. I'm Edie Sellers. With me is Nick Nicola over there. And yeah, short show. So what have you been playing, Nick?
Well, we were just talking about comedy and uplifting, funny things. So I figure, let's jump into a video game that's kind of a metaphor for Russian-Ukraine war. Let's keep the good times going.
Okay. And the name of it is?
Hell is Us. Hell is Us. It's Maynard in the chat says, "You're tearing me apart, Nick." See, I didn't see that part. I didn't see any of like the mean parts. It was just people talking and just like acting so awful. Like that's the kind you can't watch that movie
Oh,
alone.
what? You're talking
You
about The
need
Room?
people. Yeah, The Room. Anyways, Hell is Us. This is a new game and a third person action adventure. Infamously, like its kind of selling point is we don't give you a map of the world. We don't give you objective waypoints. We don't like necessarily do anything to make navigation easier. You have to remember where people are. You have to remember what they say. If someone says go north, you have to take out a compass and head north.
Oh,
And like,
there is no compass. There is no
yeah, there's no mini map. There's
mini
no
map.
overworld map. Like you have to.
You have
It's
to
about
map the whole thing yourself.
It's about exploration and discovery and like doing all that without the assistance of the game.
Hardcore exploration and discovery.
Yeah. But what's interesting about it is how it's really hardcore in some ways, but then also like really gamey and forgiving in other ways in a way that actually balances each other out. But to like backtrack a little bit,
Mhm.
this is a story, like I said, imagine if like the border of the Russian-Ukraine war was suddenly taken over by demonic entities. So this takes
Okay.
place in a fictional, like kind of Eastern European country, and I forget what it's called. But the country is populated by like two ethnic classes. And I forget their names. It's like Sabinians and Palomas, but everyone calls them like the Sabs and the Pals. And this is like the equivalent of any other country where you've got two major ethnic classes that have been at war with each other for centuries. Sabs and Pals hate each other. The first area that you come to, well, you play as a guy who basically, okay, so the country has broken out into civil war between these two ethnic classes. As part of that, there's not UN, but ON, like security team that's sent in to try to help refugees. Your character hitches a ride with one of those groups to smuggle himself into the country in search for his parents. And there's definitely more going on. It's not just I want to find my parents to save them. There's a sense that like, okay, there's something bigger going on here.
Woody is here to say hi.
Uh,
That is
Woody,
the world's biggest
look at the
cat.
camera. Look at the camera. There we go.
Anyway,
Yeah. So the game begins with like go all the way back. Go all the way, like start at hour 1. The game begins with you being interrogated by this really overweight, kind of creepy guy who looks like somewhat supernatural. And so there's
I'm not fine. There he is. Okay.
yeah, what are you looking for? You're jumping
I'm
around.
looking for
I'm
an
not sure what
overweight
you're looking
creepy
for.
guy.
Oh, yeah, well, you got to go like 5 minutes or something. No, yeah, 5 minutes. You just got to start it.
I am getting there.
Okay. Yeah, here we go. So he's interrogating you and he gives you a truth serum and you start recounting the events of the game. So it's clear that like there's some bigger story going on. But anyways, you come into this country. The first area, like the kind of tutorial area, is you hear about a Sab army that came through and kind of killed a bunch of people at this PAL farm. And so right away, you see kind of the effects of this civil war of like, okay, this invading army came through and killed people at this farm, civilians, but they were of the other ethnic class. But then as you explore this territory, you come across this like ancient temple. And when you find the little drone, it starts translating these plaques on the wall for you. And what the plaques tell is a story of, oh, this ancient temple was built by ancient pals, has a like prison for Sabs. And there are plaques that say, no prisoner shall leave this room clad in any thread. Like, no prisoner shall leave this area unbound. It's like, oh, this ancient temple was built by the now victimized ethnic class in order to basically torture and murder the invading ethnic class. So you clearly get a sense that this conflict has been going on for centuries. And so that lends it the story like a real heaviness. Because in the second area, you find a town that's been taken over by the invading Sabs. And like everyone there, you can talk to all the characters, and they will be really forthcoming about all their feelings. You can ask them about the demons around. You can ask them about the war. You can ask them about the country, and they'll just give you their honest opinions. And because of that, like you really get a sense of like, oh, this hatred is deep seated. It's in everything. Like you can see at one point you find this little girl hiding in an attic because she ran away when the bombs started to fall. And she's like, yeah, my teacher used to say that the Sabs were all bad people. And now I know that she's right. I hope they all die. And you're like, Jesus, there's
Wow.
no way this ends well. So the world itself is like really heavy, but really interesting because to its credit, it treats like these atrocities with gravitas. Like it's not just using them as background noise, because the larger story is that these atrocities have done something to like trigger the emergence of these monsters. And a lot of the people aren't like necessarily surprised by the monsters because even though they're different ethnic classes, they follow the same religion. And that religion generally says that, oh, yeah, when there's a whole bunch of destruction on Earth, God will release demons to punish man. And so people are like, yeah, I thought that was just being metaphorical, but apparently it's not. Whoops.
Oopsie.
But what's also interesting is in the town that's been taken over, they've built up walls to keep the creatures out, but the creatures aren't like aggressive towards people unless you get close to them. And so you have this weird stalemate where the invading army has been contained by virtue of these invincible monsters are just surrounding the marshland, and they can't be killed, but they're also not attacking. So everyone's just like, I guess we're just gonna sit here until something happens. Okay. And so you come into this picture in a really interesting moment where you're kind of in the middle of this war that has been forcibly put on pause by this weird supernatural occurrence. Um, so it's kind of awesome. Like it's heavy, but it's serious and it's intriguing and it's thoughtful. It's well written. It's well acted. Like I'm really compelled by the story. I want to know what's going on. What also helps is the the world, like I said, it wants to encourage exploration. It doesn't have a mini map. It doesn't have objective markers. But what it does have is shinies. And that was a term that me and my friends used when we played Resident Evil games, where if you if you peek your head into a room and there's an interactable object, if there's something there for you to pick up, it will shine. It'll like
Hmm.
poof, just like a nice bright shine in the darkness, and you immediately know I can go pick that up.
Right, and I haven't been here before.
Yeah. And
Because if I had been here before, that wouldn't be there.
yeah. And that is such a smart, player-friendly design decision in a game that ostensibly is like player unfriendly. But what it means is if I walk into this giant ancient prison and there's prison cells like lining the walls, I just walk by and instead of walking into every cell, looking around, nothing. Walk into the next one, look around, nothing. Walk into the next one, looking around, nothing. And do that over and over again until one of them has an item. I'm not going to want to do that over and over again. Like if discovering items was hard, that would actually disincentivize exploration because I wouldn't know what I could interact with. But because these findings are there and they stand out, when I peek my head into a room, I immediately can see if there's something there. And so that makes me want to peek my head into every room. And it's just such a smart way to balance like the hardcore unfriendliness of not having a mini map with a bit more an understanding that like if you're too player unfriendly, people don't want to play your game. Like it strikes this really good balance between uh making you want to explore and want to kind of create a mental map of the world because the stuff you find is really useful. Uh the combat is good. It's not like anything fantastic or special, but it's interesting. You'll fight a lot of these humanoid white enemies, and they have these tells that are pretty easy to see. Uh, but what's cool about the game is the way it handles healing. Every time you attack, you have a chance to heal. And so that encourages you to be really aggressive. If you get into combat, if the video gets into combat, you can see some of this. When you hit someone, a white ring will appear around your character. And when that ring like flashes, that's when you want to hit all1 and you'll heal for a certain amount of health. If you hit once and then you hit all1, you'll heal a little bit. If you execute a longer combo and then you hit all1, you'll heal for a lot more. If you execute like a finishing move and then you hit all1, you'll heal even more. So it encourages you to be aggressive, even though the enemies, like, if they surround you, they can hurt you pretty quickly. But because you know that you can heal if you fight, that encourages you to get into the action. And it's remnant of Bloodborne, except that in Bloodborne, the healing was limited. So if
Ooh,
you got hurt,
I'm seeing on the screen there actually is a map, but he can only access it when he went into a vehicle.
yes, that's basically the sections of the game.
Right.
So right now he's traveling from the tutorial opening to the new area. And
Oh, okay.
actually, I'm glad that you stopped at this point. You saw Dark, right? The Netflix show Dark, the mind-bending German time travel show,
Yes. Yes.
this opening gives me such dark vibes
Really.
in a good way. Um because Dark, the opening credits for that show, did a lot of the same like mirror images kind of to the left and right and up and
Uh-huh.
down
Uh-huh.
in a really cool way, coupled with like really interesting moody soundtrack. So when I got to this opening credit scene, I was like, "Oh shit, this is like the video game of Dark." I'm so into this.
Mhm.
Um but yeah, the
I guess
combat
it looks like it's French.
it could
Jean-Francois Metteau.
I'm not
Wallace
sure who
David,
the
there's somebody.
developer is.
Sebastien
Chat will look that up.
Legrand. Yeah, it
Um,
is definitely. Yeah, AC Wraith, can you look up to see who the developer is on this?
but yeah, it's what was I talking about? The combat. So the humanoid enemies are generally pretty easy, but every now and then you'll encounter a humanoid enemy that like spits out this weird glowing ball enemy. And when they do that, the humanoid one becomes invincible. So you have to defeat the ball enemy before you can hurt the humanoid enemy. Uh, and when you defeat the ball enemy, it goes back inside the humanoid enemy and you can attack it. But if you wait too long, it will vomit out that orb again, and you have to defeat the orb specifically.
Mhm.
And so that lends a much more difficult rhythm to the combat because shit, this enemy is invincible. I can't attack it. I have to focus my attention on this other one. And that's where the drone abilities come in, because you have this little drone buddy that follows you around. You can send that out to distract enemies. So you get into this fun rhythm of sending out the drone to distract the humanoid enemy while I take on the orb and then, defeat the orb, then go get it. Basically, the game balances a lot of different things really well. I think the combat is pretty basic and simple. But when you're in the midst of it, it gets into a really good rhythm that makes it really satisfying to get into fights, which is good because there's a lot of enemies around.
Mhm.
And when I first started playing, I kind of spent one night just wandering the marshlands, getting into as many fights as I could, because that would level up my weapons. And I wanted to explore the land. And because, you know what? Combat's really fun. And so I just wanted to fight. Um, yeah, I'm really enjoying the hell out of this. I think it's what I think come away most impressed by is how, even though there's no mini map, I think the land and the cities are intelligently constructed to both kind of force you into certain routes. Like the city is kind of split in half. One section is taken over by humans, one section is taken over by creatures. And so you can't necessarily go from one to the other easily. But once you're in each of those, navigating around them isn't hard. I found that I picked up an item and I thought, oh, that's right. I saw this empty child's room in this one house, and it looked like I could interact with it. And then at some point, I picked up a teddy bear, and I thought, oh, maybe this goes on that chair. And to the game's credit, I thought, I'm kind of thinking, where was that house? I think it was in this direction, and yep, that's exactly where it was. So the game is well structured. The world is well laid out in a way that initially feels confusing, but once you kind of get a general mental map of where things are, it's not hard to find your way around, which is just impressive level design, coupled with like the really interesting story. And I'm kind of really into this. I think this is a cool game.
This
It's
looks
got some
good.
awesome art direction.
Yeah, I'm really liking this a lot. So are you playing it on Steam? Are you playing it on PlayStation?
Playing this on PS5. I think it's out for everything: Xbox, PC, PlayStation. Like
Yes.
any big budget game is here.
So the developer is Rogue Factor. Thank you, AC Wraith. They are out of Montreal.
Okay,
Yeah,
French
which makes
Canadian.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, AC Wraith says it sounds like the kind of game you don't want to take a break during, though. Yeah, I can absolutely imagine that. Like once you get the mental map in your head, And granted, there are different sections of the world, right? You go from the tutorial section to this marshland, and then you'll hop in your APC at a certain point and go to another area. So the map constantly resets.
Do
It's
you
not
have
it's not one big world. It's a bunch of smaller maps.
a compass in game so you can at least see where north is?
Yes.
Okay.
You have to it's in your inventory, and like you have to push down on the D-pad and you'll get the little compass that kind of
Okay.
mimics you looking at it, but it's not up all the time. But
Okay.
yes, you do have something that tells you north, south, east, and west.
Right. That's I can see that being annoying, but at the same time, I just have to kind of lean into it that I'm here to explore.
Oh
And
yeah,
just get
yeah.
used to the idea that I might have to pull out some paper and pencil and map out the whole area.
Yeah. And like I think that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
And I haven't run into any navigation issues with it. At
Have
least so
you
far.
are you physically mapping this as you're playing it?
No. Not I'm just kind of keeping track in my head like, okay, this is over here, this is over there.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that you walk away from that and then you don't come back and it's like, "Oh, I forgot where everything
Yeah.
is."
Yeah, and also to his credit, to the game's credit, there are floating save points pretty spread out pretty evenly throughout the
Uh-huh.
world. And so even though you're walking through this dangerous world, you encounter a save point and you save there, and you can set it up two ways. You can have it so that the save point acts like an old school save point. If you die, all of your progress since the last save is lost. Or you can do what I'm doing, which is to be a little nicer, where if you die, you respawn at the last save point, but any progress you made, any items you had, any progress with quests, any things you discovered are retained.
So you can choose which way you want to play it.
Yeah, you can choose
Oh,
if you want
nice.
to be a bit more hardcore, if you want to be a bit more forgiving.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And that's part of what I think is so interesting about this game is the way it balances player unfriendliness and player friendliness. The way that it knows how to make a game that is challenging in a different way that's not skill challenge, but navigational challenge in a way that's compelling and not frustrating.
Corey Wallace wants us to play Borderlands. Not today. I got a date.
Oh yeah. Hell is Us. Really cool.
All right. Yeah. Actually, this looks like something
Oh,
I
you
would
can
be
see
interested in.
him healing with the little
Oh yeah.
white rings that popped up.
Finally, I found something that was combat. Yeah, this looks like actually a lot of fun. It looks like very much like a me kind of game
Yeah, it's cool.
because it's not constant combat. There's
Yeah.
combat. There's a lot of it, but it's not constant combat. You're not expected
And
to plow through masses of enemies, et cetera, et cetera.
no. And there is difficulty settings. You can put it from easy, medium to hard. I
Right.
started on normal and then upped it to hard because I wanted more challenge. I was like, oh, these enemies are too easy. I want to be in danger. But you can also just put it to easy to make it
Mm-hmm.
even more focus on exploration.
So anything else that you played?
I will just say I've played more Hollow Knight, and I have been enjoying my time with it even more after I realized that the Rogue Ally is a PC. And that means I can mod the game.
Oh, there is an interesting thing.
So because last week with the Wreaths of Silksong, there was a bunch of stories of people modding Silksong to make it less frustrating. I wouldn't necessarily say easier, just less frustrating. Because there was a lot of bullshit in both of these games. And so I went back and modded Hollow Knight to basically remove what I think is some of the bullshit.
Mhm.
In that game, you have a map, like a whole map of the world, but the ability to see where you are on that map, you have to equip like a specific ability to do that, and that takes up one of your ability slots.
Ooh, that's
And I
awful.
thought that's such bullshit. So I put in a mod that basically makes that permanent. So
Mhm.
I freed up one ability slot, and then something called Stakes of Marika, which is a reference to Elden Ring. So in Elden Ring, you have the bonfires, which are your checkpoints that you can rest at and heal and save and level up.
Mhm.
But because it's an open world, the developers didn't necessarily know what path you were going to take through the world.
Right.
And so they added these things called Stakes of America throughout the world. These are checkpoints that you can't rest at. You can't save at them. But if you die within the vicinity, you can choose to resurrect at a Stake of America instead of a bonfire. So basically what that means is you rested at a bonfire here, you went exploring, and you died at a boss that you didn't expect to encounter. Instead of respawning all the way back at the bonfire, you can spawn at a Stake of America, which is just right next to the boss.
Right.
So in Hollow Knight, what the mod does is it basically puts a Stake of America before each boss room
Oh, nice.
to eliminate me having to run back from the sparsely populated checkpoints to whatever boss I'm fighting. And by removing that run back need, like just the mental weight of knowing like, oh fuck, I've got to go through this. I've got to start at the bench and go to the boss again. Removing that weight has just made exploring the world so much lighter, so much more interesting. I feel a freedom to explore the world, knowing that like, oh, I don't have to go through this bullshit again if I die.
Right.
And that has made it significantly more enjoyable.
Nice. I wonder, and maybe if Mr. Maynard is on, or maybe Chaos might know. I know that the Rogue Ally is a PC and you could absolutely mod a game on there. Is the Steam Deck equipped the same way? I mean, I know technically it's a PC, but
like if you
don't really have access to Windows. So
if you can access the file structure, you should be able to, because the mod is just moving files into like the file structure of the game.
Corey Wallace says, steaks. And that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, Steaks of America would make a really good restaurant.
Oh God, what would they eat? What are the steaks made of?
No, just, like Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. It would be the Steaks of America.
That is a good Elden Ring pop-up restaurant.
Absolutely.
Maynard says, yeah, somewhat. It's Linux-based.
It's Linux-based. Well, I mean, technically, I guess you could mod it, but you'd have to be able to access the Linux.
You might have to go through Steam mods. I ended up going through Nexus mods. You can even download Windows to it, but you'd have to mod on Linux.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It says, yes, you can mod Steam Deck. You can even download Windows to it, but you would have to mod on Linux. AC Ray says, I'm just comparing Overweight Creepy Guy to switching our names. Oh, okay. Chaos says, loaded into a Tarkov raid. What did I miss? What did they mess up? Oh my God. Chaos, really?
We don't mess up anything.
Absolutely not. We're perfect. Yes. Absolutely perfect.
Angry was says people. That's what you would eat.
Oh,
people.
It's true. It's made of people.
Yes.
Chaos says, I mean, you could mod on Windows, but if you didn't do that, you would be Linux modding. Okay.
Yeah. So basically that's made Hollow Knight more fun. I think I will probably finish the game now just because it's easier to pick up and play.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have Game Pass. I don't know for how much longer I have Game Pass because I bought it like 2 years of it back when they hiked the price, and it should be running out soon.
Mm-hmm.
But Silksong came out on Game Pass. And so I thought, you know what? Maybe I should just boot up the Xbox and play a little bit of it to see the difference. Now I will probably buy it on Steam because I can mod the game and remove the bullshit.
Remove the bullshit. Yeah, that's that actually is a very compelling reason to have a Rogue Ally.
Yeah.
And or Steam Deck. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. I've just been playing for the Horde. Be my Horde. Not for the Horde. Be my Horde. I've been playing Be my Horde.
That's what the minions shout.
Yeah. For the Horde. Work. I am still enjoying it. Chris keeps asking me, like, is there any strategy to this? And I keep on giving him bullshit answers because I want to make him not say, I don't want to say no.
There's a little bit of, I mean, the strategy is in how you level up, right? It's in the abilities that you get.
Right, how you build. And
the
at
strategy
a certain point,
isn't how you move through the world. It's a build-based strategy.
Yeah, it is a little bit, and I have found, but it becomes less important as your character gets upgraded. Um, the when you res certain limited edition characters, so to speak, like the healing priests, or early on when you start getting the berserkers, the like big hammer guys that do a lot of damage, or most importantly, the mages. When you res them, where you res them is where they stay in your horde. So it's not such a big deal when you're a small horde, but when you're talking about a horde that is big enough to fill your whole screen, you kind of want the mages near you. You don't want them on the outside edges because they're glass
squishy.
cannons. Yeah, they're squishy.
Yeah.
So you want them kind of embedded within your, but not too far in, because then you can't actually get them to get close enough to shoot things. So to optimize their use, you do have to have a little bit of strategy, but that's about it. All you do is just run around and hold A. And it's so relaxing. It's just so relaxing to just, even now I get such like a kick seeing this massive horde that fills up the whole screen that I can't even see what I'm killing because it's off the screen now. And then getting into the final fight and slowly having that horde dwindle down and dwindle down and dwindle down. It's like, okay, now it's a war of attrition. I've got to res things faster than you're killing them.
So are you still playing on normal, or have you upgraded to hard?
Well, remember, it set me back to 0.
Oh, that's right. There was
upgrading.
a reboot.
There was a reboot. So I'm now leveled up completely. And now I am about to not futz around now, and I will go to hard and see how it goes. I'm probably going to get my ass handed to me, but that's okay. AC Ray says, so the meta grinding ruins the strategy of the game. Who knew? Me. Yeah.
I mean, that's the appeal of meta grinding. That's the appeal of the roguelite progression, is that eventually you don't have to deal with the bullshit of the early game.
Right. It penalizes you for being little, which I'm not a big fan of that. It's not. That's all I have. I really don't have any other games other than I saw the Spinal Tap 2. Very good. But if you have not seen Spinal Tap, the original, if you don't know Spinal Tap, like truly know it, it's kind of a little bit lost. But
So
I, as someone who absolutely knows that movie inside out, can recite, like knows the lyrics to the songs.
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, I've sung some of the songs in karaoke nights.
So you need to watch these movies back to back.
Yeah, you kind of have to watch these. Yes, actually, if you've never seen Spinal Tap, do see them back to back. But if you truly, truly, truly love Spinal Tap, like Goldie and I love it, because it was spoke to us, you're gonna absolutely love that movie. And I was grinning ear to ear watching that movie the whole time. Yeah, this is Spinal Tap, 1984. So I was a junior in high school when that came out.
I was
Not born
alive.
Yet. Yep.
Nope.
Great movie.
Israel also says, oh wait, that's the wrong thing. Yeah, build strategy is not BS. It's the thrilling gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
So the Chaos says he was -8. Yeah, he was -8. I know. Hey, I cannot complain that it used to be I felt very, very, very alone about, like, okay, I'm the only old folk that remembers Spinal Tap and plays video games. And now I'm not alone anymore. I got that other guy who saw Spinal Tap and also plays video games. I'm more of a big gamer than he is, though, I think, a little bit. He just makes them. I play it.
I don't play them. I just make them.
None of us win points if we weren't 11. Well said, AC Wraith. Oh, you're one of my people. Go see that movie. Go
I
see
get that
Spinal Tap 2.
reference.
Do you?
It goes to 11.
Good for you. Yes,
That's all I know. That's all I know.
It is pretty famous. So,
Okay.
anything else before we hit the news?
That's it.
Okay. All right, then. Let's hit, wait for it, the news.
I do. Wait, get it.
This is the GameHounds News, the news, and commentary of the week in gaming with Meridian and Nicola, and the first topic is...
Well, you were just talking about how much you enjoy Be My Horde, which is a game
Mhm.
about necromancers rezzing minions to fight for them. Basically, it's a game about your character summoning other characters to fight battles for them. Well, because of the U.S. Patent Office,
Oh, I read about
Nintendo
this.
now owns the patent on that concept.
Summoning creatures.
Yes.
Now, how the U.S. Patent Office allowed that
And
to
so
become patented is
um,
beyond me.
PC Gamer has an interview with video game patent lawyer Kirk Sigmund, who basically says that I don't know how this happened. This
Yeah.
is an embarrassing failure of the U.S. patent system. Usually, the points of a patent get rejected at least once, and in this case, they were basically all greenlit on the first time.
It's
Like,
almost smacks. I
it-
mean, I don't want to say bribery, but it almost smacks of bribery. Like
It
this is like
feels rubber stamped.
it very much feels like there was somebody on the other side of that patent reading it in the patent office that was inclined to say yes.
Yeah. And even Eurogamer has an interview with the former Pokemon Company lawyer Don McGowan, who basically said in the interview that this will not hold up. Like, if anyone ignores this patent and if Nintendo tries to enforce it, it will not hold up.
Mm-hmm.
But that requires someone to ignore it. That requires someone to trigger a lawsuit. And that by itself could have a chilling effect.
Well, it's going to stop any new small developer, any bedroom developer from doing it because Nintendo is only going to go after those who cannot fight.
Yeah,
They're not going to go after Take-Two if Take-Two decides to challenge
they would
them.
go after Be My Horde.
They will
for
go after Be
summoning
My Horde.
creatures. They won't go after Blizzard, which does the same thing with their necromancer character.
Yep.
People are talking about, like, I guess you can't summon anymore in Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this concept is so common throughout video games that, again, the idea that this originated in Pokemon is ridiculous.
Yeah, and I almost wish that I've never really been inclined to write a complaint letter to a government agency about something, but I'm almost inclined to write a complaint letter to say whoever did this needs to be looked at because this is just insane. I cannot believe that this was allowed. And I don't know anything and I can't believe that this was allowed.
Yeah. Creation Chaos. That's crazy how Nintendo has really come into their villain arc.
They have. They have.
Yeah.
They have come into their villain period.
Well, you
that's
know,
for sure.
when Bobby Kotick stepped down and Activision went to Microsoft, Nintendo was like, we got to fill that void.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's the link for it. It goes former I'll read the headline for the link that
Yeah, that's all. That's
Chaos
long.
just, AC Wraith just post. Former Pokemon Company head lawyer says, yeah, those latest Nintendo patents are a bit much, aren't they? I wish Nintendo Pokemon good luck when the first other developer just entirely ignores the patent. That's the headline.
PC Gamer has some long headlines, but also some like really good headlines.
Yeah. What is this about Tarkov? Tarkov 1.011.15.25. I know how excited everyone in here is for that. Big extraction gamers in here.
Oh yeah, we play it all the time. We are so hyped for Oh fuck, my joke fell flat because I forgot the name of the game.
Tarkov?
No, the one that Bungie's making. Destiny. It's not Destiny. It's the one with all the art theft. Marathon.
Oh, yes, Marathon.
Yeah, we're so hyped for Marathon in here.
Sure. I'm really glad because Tarkov 1.011.15.24 was such a
Oh
disappointment for me.
shit.
I mean, it was why? It was barely better than 0.23.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't have even been given 2.4. It really should have been given 2.3.5.
In fact, I shouldn't be saying this, but we saw 0.25 at PAX. Tarkov had a
Krishikeya says
big presence.
in October 15th.
Oh, he
It's
says
a date. It's a date. Okay. What is it really? Let me take a look.
Yeah. 11/15/25.
Oh, Tarkov 1.0,
Tarkov
11/15/25. Okay.
Tarkov is going 1.0 on 11. Chaos, you don't put dots for a date. You put
Dashes.
Monster are you to put
Especially when the thing, I mean, truly. Am I wrong for having interpreted that incorrectly? He says big extraction gamers in here. Yeah. But
I mean, maybe we should, because like Tarkov did have a big presence at PAX. It had like
my
a
God.
whole section of the
Chaos,
floor.
you would have had a gigantic Tarkov hard on. They had a whole Tarkov on, I guess it would be. Yes. It was an entire arena of people playing Tarkov. And the lines were insane.
Oh, he says, I hate Tarkov, so I'm not sure.
No, you don't, you liar.
Do you hate it because you're a fan? And look, all fans hate the thing they're a fan of.
Yeah, that's what it is. He hates it because he loves it so much, because it's taken over his life.
I do, but I still play it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, a hard Cov-on?
Hard Cov-on. Maybe. What would you call a hard on for Tarkov?
Oh, he says it's actually called Tarking Off.
Oh, it's actually a name for it. You would have totally tarked off at PAX. Totally tarked off at PAX. What's the next item?
Let's see. Anyway, let's see about things that people, I don't know, talk off about. Star Citizen. So there was recently a what was it? Basically, the content director Jared Huckabee said during a Star Citizen live showcase, like a online show, that Squadron 42, the single-player first-person shooter spin-off of Star Citizen, will not be at CitizenCon Direct on October 11th. A lot of people took that as an ominous sign that the game will miss its 2026 release date, because if it's coming out in 2026, you would kind of expect, media and marketing to start in October. It also doesn't help that he said the team is heads down. We drew a line in the sand when we said 2026. I don't know if we're going to make it. I just know that we're going to do every single thing possible to make it. If you say, I don't think we're going to make it, and a lot of people latched on to that.
Yeah, for good reason.
Oh shit, it's not coming out.
It's going to get delayed.
He has since playing cleanup and trying to, stem the bleeding, saying, no. When I said that, I was talking about just in general, like in life. Are we going to make it? I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen?
I could die tomorrow.
Exactly.
You might make it, but I might not, because I'll be dead.
A meteor could hit Earth. All game development is strange and unexpected, and I was just trying to, be honest. Yeah, and it's like, oh
no, that's not what you meant. And you could try and talk your way out of that. You try to BS your way, but it isn't gonna fly.
Especially when
we make it.
Especially when you consider that Star Citizen, unlike Tarkov, is still not 1.0. Even after what, 20 years and almost $1 billion in development. Yeah, AC Wraith says, it's Tossiden. Not making the release date is the gameplay.
Pretty much. I'm
Going, short but sweet. Describes the show and sometimes talking off.
True.
Okay, you need to change the name of the show to Talking Off, the short but sweet show.
I'm looking up the history of Star Citizen on Wikipedia.
Oh, that's a long history.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to see.
In the Eurogamer article, in the PC Gamer article, it said that Squadron 42 was first announced for release in 2014. So the spin-off of Star Citizen is already more than 20 years old.
Yeah,
No,
the
10 years
game,
old. 10
yeah,
years
the
old.
game was announced. Star Citizen was announced in 2012. And then they had the Kickstarter that brought in 2 million. And then in August 2025, they said that Star Citizen is aiming for a release in 2027 or 2028. While its single player spin-off, Squadron 42, is aiming for a 2026 release. Got it.
We will see.
Maybe.
You know, unless a meteor hits the Earth or something.
Early access sales have reached $800 million. I'm
Yeah.
trying to see how much they've spent on it so far. It says it's one of the most expensive video games to develop. One of the most expensive single pieces of entertainment ever produced.
Yeah, I've got a $865 million. At least as of 2 days ago,
Yeah.
according to this PC Gamer article. Man,
Yeah.
people are speculating that GTA 6 cost about $1 billion to make. So, I hope Star Citizen is GTA 6 in space. Otherwise, where did that money go?
I appreciate that they're releasing. That's great.
Supposedly.
But
allegedly.
there's two different kinds of scams. There's the kind of scams where you take the money and run, and then there's the kind of scams that you skim off a lot off the top, and then you deliver something that isn't quite what they paid for. And
Or there's
I
a
think that
scam
Star
where
Citizen is that.
Or there's a scam where you just keep saying it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. And then you put out a crappy product, and then you shut down the studio, and then you create a new studio, and you say, this game is going to be awesome. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's the Elon Musk style of scam.
Yeah. Oh, God, yes. Well, I mean, I'm not interested in Star Citizen. I think at one point when I heard about it, I was very interested, not interested enough to give it any money. But I do not think that it is possible for this game to ever live up to the price tag.
No.
Not out of this thing. I would have seen a lot more of awesome than I have seen previously. And I've seen not a lot of gameplay, but I've seen gameplay of it, and it's interesting. But I see that it also is pretty vanilla. It's pretty generic.
Feels like a big budget EVE Online, but without all of the
Good stuff.
nitty-gritty economic technicality that makes EVE.
Right. We'll know, I guess, next year, maybe, if they get to it, if they make it. I mean, if we make it, but it's what I'm saying. We all make it.
Yeah.
We will.
Because life is filled with unexpected events.
I could get hit by a bus tomorrow and never make it. So you'd make it, but I wouldn't.
Yeah.
So next item.
The French voice actress for Lara Croft has issued a cease and desist to the studio behind the remaster version of the game because there are some voice lines in the remaster that are different. And she says that they have been changed using AI.
Oh.
Without her permission, without her knowledge, just
And
here's a
did they
no,
just like settle a lawsuit or settle a not a lawsuit, but a strike over exactly that?
maybe. I don't remember the timeline of stuff in France.
Oh, that's true. This is French.
Yeah. Um, but let's see. Asper, the developer behind the remaster, and this is the trilogy of remastered games. Like 6 months ago, there was Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3 remastered. Then about 6 months later, they put out 4, 5, and 6 remastered. This is for Tomb Raider for the Angel of Darkness. On September 4th, Asper hasn't made any public comment on this, but on September, what was it, 4th? She says, the voice actress says she received a message from them apologizing for the re-recording and said that the changes were made by an external development partner. And they promised to remove the lines in the coming weeks in part of a patch.
Mm-hmm.
So no public comment, but apparently privately to her, they have kind of confirmed, yeah, this is in there. Someone else did it. That may just be them shifting blame. But with a promise to patch it out, which does seem to like admit wrongdoing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that does seem like a problem. And it seems kind of silly that they wouldn't just call her up and say, come on in and re-record these lines.
Yeah.
It's not hard to do, and it would have saved all this mess.
Yeah.
But then again, I've heard probably somebody said, oh, let's just use AI. AI will do it. It's what everybody's using these days.
Yeah. And
Hot new thing.
everyone would be like, oh yeah, it's just easier.
Yeah. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. No one will care.
It's easier until you get caught and publicly scrutinized, and then you have to go through a very public, messy re-recording. So basically doing the thing that you would have done before, but with a whole bunch of negativity attached to it.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, good for her. Good for her for standing up. But then again, of course, that's what the French do. They're professional protesters.
Yeah.
Going way back. They know how to make a beef about something they're unhappy
La
about.
Revolution.
Viva la Revolution.
Yes.
I don't have, by the way, I didn't bring anything to this episode. It is 100% because I knew one way to ensure that we would get out of here quickly is for me to bring absolutely nothing to the show.
I mean, that's just sabotage, right?
That is. It's also really fucking lazy, but it's fine. It's fine.
Well, the other stories I have are basically from I think there was a Nintendo event relatively recently, and they announced a couple new things that I think you might be interested in as well.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is a remake of Fatal Frame 2.
Mm-hmm.
And this is important just because.
Uh-oh. That's a cough.
Excuse me. Yes. No, something just got caught in my throat. Fatal Frame 2 is kind of an infamous, hard to find survival horror game. The original is one of the most critically acclaimed survival horror games of the PS2 era.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually mentioned in conjunction with Resident Evil 2 as one of the classics of survival horror. Fatal Frame, the franchise itself, has since come out on subsequent consoles. There were Wii games. There are sequels available on PS4, but Fatal Frame 2 has always kind of been stuck on the PS2, kind of languished there. So having it brought back up to modern consoles is kind of a big deal. It's an instance of an old, kind of hard to find game being made available for people nowadays, which is just nice. And I don't know, an excuse to play through the game again would be cool. Fatal Frame 2 was a great freaky ass game, and I love a good freaky ass game.
Yeah. And it's I'm really surprised that it never got like continued, because it
Well,
really was so well received.
it did get continued, but each subsequent game kind of like sold less and less and less. And so Fatal Frame 2 is known as like the peak of the franchise. But then every subsequent game kind of got less and less popular. And I think that's why 2 has languished on old consoles, because like unlike Resident Evil, the demand for it isn't there. It's always been a cult classic and has kind of retained a cult status, but never went above the cult status.
Right. So it is a Nintendo property?
No, it's not. I think this was just announced on a Nintendo Direct. It's going to come to Switch 2, but I assume it's also coming to every other console.
Who does own the IP for this?
Who owns Fatal Frame? I don't know. Fatal Frame.
You all are welcome to look it up as well. Project
Koei
Zero is
Koei
owned by
Tecmo?
Koei Tecmo and Nintendo, so they do own it.
Well, they might have published the game. There was a Wii version, and one of the games was exclusive to the Wii, because the whole game revolves around using a camera to take pictures of ghosts, and so you can kind of imagine using motion controls for that.
Right.
So that might be why Nintendo is listed as a publisher.
Maybe. So it said, following a period of Nintendo, and granted this is AI overview from Google, which isn't always correct. Following a period of Nintendo exclusivity, Koei Tecmo re-released the series on multiple platforms in 2021 and 2023, suggesting Nintendo may have relinquished some of the rights or given permission for these multi-platform releases.
That makes sense.
Oh, and then
you know
there's
what?
another article here that says the misinformation. It's not an article. It's actually a post from something called Famiboards, which looks like it's a, gosh, I don't even know what it is. It's just it looks like it's a forum. It says it's called the misinformation about the Fatal Frame IP ownership. Let's see. It's a weird that we have a misconception that Nintendo co-owns the IP with Koei Tecmo when it's pretty much the Bayonetta situation, a Sega IP, whereas Nintendo has control over the games they funded and published, and only that, including Fatal Frame 5, which was recently re-released as a multi-platform, and Nintendo just opted to omit their copyright on other platforms while retaining the Switch version. So it looks like, yeah, that Koei Tecmo owns it.
Yeah, so basically, Fatal Frame 1, 2, and 3 came out for PS2 and Xbox back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
4 came out for the Wii, and 5 came out for the Wii U. And they were exclusive to those consoles up until 2021.
Right. So it looks like Koei Tecmo
actually owns it. Nintendo probably helped publish those two games.
Right, and owns 2 of them.
Yes. But, Nintendo has a close relationship with the game since it had 2 exclusives, so I think that's why they probably announced this remake at a Nintendo event.
And then someone else posted immediately afterwards. To complicate things more, what Nintendo does own is the Spirit Camera trademark. Yep, a Canada trademark of Nintendo of America, the Spirit Camera.
Okay.
So they own even though Koei Tecmo owns the IP, the camera trademark.
Well, does that mean they own the camera mechanics or just
the mechanic?
The name Spirit Camera?
Yeah. Yeah. Though it's let's see, I'm pulling up the trademark itself right now. Canadian Intellectual Property Office, recorded electronic game program, blah, 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 blah. What, it's a description? Are you going to, there we go. Recorded electronic, oh, that's good. Recorded electronic game, it does not go into what it specifically patents. It doesn't say.
Anyways.
Yeah, I don't see anything where it says exactly what they mean by that, at least where this is listed.
Yeah.
But
the other game mentioned at I think it was the Nintendo event, um, is a new Fire Emblem game.
Really?
Yeah, this would be Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, which is set to
Really?
launch in 2026.
Oh, nice. I didn't. When was the last Fire Emblem?
According to this article on Video Game Chronicles, it was Fire Emblem Engage in 2023, but I hadn't played one since Three Houses, which was it came out early in the Switch's lifespan, and it was a really great mix of like school visual novel, oh, go to this person, talk to them, learn about them, help them out, and it's a school student story coupled with, oh, then let's go to war, and
Mhm.
good turn-based strategy games.
I think the only one that I played was the one on the
Yeah, 3DS.
3DS. Yes,
I know we
that's the
played a
one.
whole bunch of that one.
And I played an insane amount of that.
The characters with
And
no feet.
the characters no feet, and it worked. No complaints. No
Yeah.
complaints. So, any other stories?
The other one is kind of a mix of three stories in one.
Mm-hmm.
So Matt Piscatella had a thing on LinkedIn about Circana. Circana basically is the I forget what the old name of the company is, but they do a lot of like market research. And they did a new survey and found that households with $100,000 plus income now
NPD group.
NPD, that's right. Now account for 43% of hardware purchases for video games, up from 36% just a few years ago, which suggests that hardware purchases for video games are becoming like a kind of richer and richer thing, which makes sense when something like the Lenovo Legion Go 2 is announced, the new handheld console, and it's like base price is $1,000.
Oh, you're kidding.
I think it's like 1,000 or like 900. So,
Wow.
console prices keep going up and up and up. And as part of that, 18 to 24-year-olds accounted for only 3% of video game hardware purchases for the last 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
So kids are not buying consoles. They're pushed to
No.
mobile and PC. Which brings me to a story that Marvel Rivals is coming to PS4. Previously, Marvel Rivals was only on modern consoles. It was on the Xbox, the Xbox Series, PS5, and PC. But they want some of that bigger install base. So it is with season 4, it's coming to PS4.
It's honestly very smart. Very smart of them, but it does point out the problem. And it is the only solution that can be made currently to the problem. The problem being that consoles are too expensive. But given consoles aren't too expensive, consumers don't make enough money.
Yeah.
And we've reached that point of critical mass where you can't sell consoles because no one can afford them because you're not paying people enough money to live. So, yeah, it's taken up a lot of years, taken since the Ronald Reagan era for us to finally hit that point of inflection where income and cost of living no longer connect anymore. And so this is the stopgap measure. But it says something very interesting about possibly the future of game development. Is if no one is buying the new consoles, that could actually be the factor that limits, that changes prices, that changes the way that hardware makers are making their hardware. Because if only a small segment, if the segment of the population that has the new current gen or next gen console is getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, it stands to reason that developers will prioritize at least making it for the prior generation first, and then
Well,
eventually making it for the current generation, or making them simultaneously. Because that was always a thing, is that you wanted to have you couldn't do backwards compatibility, so you'd release for both, and then eventually you wouldn't release for the prior gen. Now that's not going to
it's
happen
gotta be backwards
anymore.
compatible.
It's yeah, it's got to be backwards compatible, or you release it for the PS4 and then eventually bring it out for the PS5. Because
I mean, and
PS4
this,
development is much, much, much less expensive than PS5 development.
yeah, and most things that come out on PS5, well, I guess there's a lot of small games that still come out on PS4. A lot of stuff still comes out on PS4.
Mm-hmm.
But we had talked about that before, about how consoles are becoming a more niche product within the larger gaming ecosystem.
Yeah.
But that also brings
Consoles are
us
pricing pricing themselves into obscurity.
into luxury item, not
Yeah,
mainstream. They are not mainstream items. They are the luxury items.
true. But they forget. Like, I buy a Rolex watch, right?
Mhm.
I don't need any support on my Rolex watch. It's my Rolex watch. It's a one and done. I buy a console, I have to have games for it.
Mhm.
That has to be made by developers who got no money for making that console.
But that's why you better make it backwards compatible, so that everything that ever people make for the previous version still work on the new version. And that's
So,
one advantage
would it
PC
be
has.
backwards compatible or would it be forwards compatible? If you're making it really for the bulk of consumers who are in the past gen console era, and then needing to service the luxury niche audience that can afford that luxury niche bit of hardware. Maybe you're not really making a backwards compatible game. Maybe you're making a forwards compatible game.
I guess, yeah, you would make a forward compatible game, but a backwards compatible console.
Mm-hmm.
Which really isn't that. That's just the PC, right?
Right, right.
But
Yeah.
the second part of this headline is Genshin Impact is discontinuing support for the PS4.
See, I don't know why. Why would they do that?
Um,
Because nobody's
because
playing it on the PS4?
no, because of limitations related to hardware performance and platform application size. Basically,
Oh,
Genshin Impact has a live service game that grows and grows and grows, has kind of outgrown the
yeah.
PS4.
Yeah, makes
Um,
sense.
they are, this is not happening immediately. It will discontinue support for PS4 on August 2026.
Oh, so
So
we've got
you
a
have
year.
almost a year. So they're giving people like a long, long heads up. But it's a platform it's a game that's growing bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's hard to support that on aging hardware.
Yeah. Once again,
The two sides of the coin of aging video game hardware.
yeah, and we're starting to see the cracks in consoles. It
Yep.
used to be that the console was the accessible way to play a game. That you didn't buy a PC because PCs were too expensive at the level that you would need to be able to have the same fidelity that you would have with a much less expensive console.
And like the truth is that's still the case.
It
Right?
is
Like
still the case.
getting the equivalent of a PS Pro on a PC will cost you more than $700.
Mhm. But it's getting less so, especially with so many
Is
used.
it?
Well,
Is
yeah.
it?
Yeah. It's getting less so because especially the graphics cards that we're moving on to, yes, they're phenomenal. But, I mean, Chaos and I were talking about it last night. That remember that very expensive graphics card that I gave you, the 4080,
Yeah.
that I spent an alarming amount of money for as a gift for him. He has passed it on, giving it to somebody else who couldn't afford to upgrade his computer. So those things are still very much viable. One
Yeah.
generation,
Like the
two
4080.
generation of two generation of graphics cards 6 or 7 years ago was a huge step down. 2 generations of graphics cards now, not so much. I mean, they're good, but until 8K televisions become the norm, and they're not going to become the norm for a really, really long time. Just have you seen the prices of an 8K TV? Chris wants an 8K TV, and I don't understand it because there isn't anything out in 8K.
Yeah, you'd have an 8K TV, but you would watch, there's no 8K content. There's
one.
not even much 4K content out
He
there.
wants one. He wants one desperately. And I keep on
There's no point. That's like buying a
even
3D
though,
TV.
and he's actually pointed out, he's like, you really should be encouraging me to get this because that TV right there is going to have to go somewhere. And I'm like, no, I would rather have that TV than the one you have downstairs, the 70-inch. By orders of magnitude, I'd prefer this TV. But I am not going to tell you to go out. How much is an 8K TV now?
Well, I was just looking up 4080 prices, and apparently they're still like $900.
They're still $900. True, but what was the generation before? I see Chaos
30?
Yeah,
3020? Oh Jesus! This is 8K TVs are like $30,000.
Yeah, no, you can get they're not 30,000. Samsung 8K TVs.
Okay, 7,000.
Yeah, there's like $6,000.
Yeah, okay, this is $6,200.
Yeah, $6,200 for an
Samsung
8K.
75-inch.
And that's the smallest one they make. It's a 75-inch. So
I mean, because you just need space for that 8,000 pixels. You can't cram 8,000 pixels into a 20-inch TV.
They know that it's a super luxury item, and super luxury item people that have super luxury items live in houses with super luxury houses with really big walls. They're not going to be in a little apartment where it's like, really, I really want a 60-inch, which is what I really want, a 60-inch. I don't want a 70-inch. Really want 60, but I'm not going to get that. I'm going to get the 70. And I actually had to buy a piece of furniture, and it was not easy to find that will take a 70-inch television but still fits on the wall. Because most TV stands, consoles, are like 80, 85 inches. If it takes a 70-inch TV, it's like 85 inches long. I don't have 85 inches on my wall. It would actually stick out past the wall.
Yeah.
So I had the most that I had was 70 inches. So my TV will be taking, because its 70-inch television is actually about 63 inches, across.
Yeah.
So I'm only going to have just a few scant inches from side to side. And I cringe. I cringe at this.
Well, okay, what are the other TVs in the house? Is there a 60-inch TV in the house? Then let him buy the 8K and take that one and then chuck the other one that you
That's
just
what
have.
he said. He said, if you encourage me to buy this 8K TV, you'd be getting that one. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I cannot, in good conscience,
You're too
you to buy a
fiscally responsible.
Yeah, I am as selfish as the next person, and I am as underhanded as any Thursday Nick. But there are lines that I won't cross. And telling someone to buy a completely pointless $7,000 television because I want a slightly smaller TV in my house for free, is a problem.
I'm going to propose.
I won't do that.
I'm going to propose something.
Mm-hmm.
I will encourage him to do it. That way, he gives you the 60-inch, and you can give me the 70-inch you currently have. This is my master plan. There's layers to the pass down, the second hand.
What size TV do you have?
Do I have 70? No, I think it's 50. No, it's not 50. It might be 60.
Okay. Is it a 4K?
Yes. It's a 4K OLED.
I have an easier solution.
Yeah, but if we switch, there's less complicated
Well, what brand? What
evil
brand? Wait, what brand?
LG.
Okay, good.
Is this one an LG?
Yeah,
The one? Okay, that's good.
the 70-inch is an
Yeah.
LG.
Okay. Yeah, but see, I want a more complicated, convoluted evil plan. Otherwise, it's not an evil plan. It's just trading.
That's
I want
Thursday Nick talking, dude. That is Thursday Nick talking. Resist.
I want
Resist.
an evil plan.
And here's the thing, I won't give you my TV. I'll borrow your TV, you borrow my TV.
Mm.
So I haven't given away. I am not like, taking his TV and then getting rid of it. Because there was a part of me, it's like, well, I could just buy my own TV. But then what would I do with the 70-inch? It's like, sell it? I'm like, I don't feel good about that he gives me a TV and selling it. No, I don't feel good
You
about
get a
that.
TV for free, but then you sell it and profit off.
Turn
of
around
it.
and sell it. Yeah, no. But see, if I give it to you, if I loan you my TV and you loan me your TV, it's perfect.
Okay. Better.
Uh-huh.
I encourage him to buy the 8K.
Mhm.
He gives you the 60-inch. You give me your 70-inch. Then I can sell my TV and profit off of everyone else's loss.
You should have shouldn't have told me your super evil plan. Where you're not only dicking over Chris, you're dicking over Chris and me. Well done.
I'm not dicking over anybody. You're getting what you want. He's getting what
No.
he wants. I
No.
just happen to be profiting a little bit from
Mm-mm.
everybody getting what they want. I
Mm-mm.
just happen to get more of what I want than everyone else.
You're such an asshole.
You're
You're such an asshole. Maynard says, meanwhile, I'm just happy here with the 14-inch CRT that does wonders for my older consoles. Yeah, it probably does.
I'm impressed that the CRT still works.
Yeah.
Like, that's good.
Oh, I have a CRT that works fantastic. In fact, I have a little portable CRT, black and white portable television that I have had multiple people say when they've seen it, like, I will buy that from you because it's so cool. It is. It's really cool.
Yeah, if
he
anything
also
happens to
said,
that, I don't know if you'll be able to fix it. Like, I've
Yeah,
heard that the tubes that those
Yeah.
TVs require are like impossible to find.
impossible to find. Maynard also says, I went from a 2070 Super to a 5070, major performance games
Mm.
for me. And that makes sense. The difference between a
Yeah.
2070 and a 5070 is massive.
That's like
The
jumping
difference
from
between a
PS3
5070 and
to
a
PS5.
8070, it's big. It's very big, but it's not that
No,
big.
that's like going from a PS2 to a PS5.
Right.
That's nuts.
Right. And a 5070, 5080 is like going from a PS4 to a PS5, which is
Yeah.
good. It is noticeable.
It was good, but
But
like
you could be pretty happy with a PS4.
Look,
A lot of people are still.
I distinctly remember playing was it Last of Us? I think on Last of Us 2. What did Last of Us 2 come out on? Was that PS4 or PS5? I think that was PS4.
PS4.
Yeah, I remember
Yes. No. Well, you look it up. Keep it up.
Last of Us Part 2 came out on PlayStation 4.
Okay.
I remember playing that game on PlayStation 4 and thinking when I first start the game, you're Joel and you're walking through a forest. And I was like, man, I thought video game foliage had reached its peak, but this is some good looking trees. These are some good looking leaves. And I thought, oh, okay, this still looks really good. But that was on PS4.
Right.
And to be honest, I haven't felt that on a PS5 game. I've thought the art direction of a game is outstanding. But I think the only game that like made me go just pure graphics is Death Stranding 2. Just looking at the environment and going, this looks amazing.
For me, it was Kingdom Come
rocks are
Deliverance 2.
photorealistic.
Yeah, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 did that for me.
Mm.
That was another one where it's like, oh my God, the level of detail is insane, especially when you put it on a 4K.
Yeah. AC Wraith says Nick wants the complex snake, chicken, corn river crossing because he fears the easy scorpion frog river crossing. Look,
Yep.
why make a plan with 2 steps when you could make a plan with 4 steps? It's a
And
higher
tick
number.
over twice as many people.
Higher numbers are better.
AC Ray says, I use a 2080 Ti. It's still good for the sweet spot of 1080p gaming on the PC.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
And
if you don't,
it's also a case of, I told you the story about my cousin about how he never had dessert, so he didn't know when he was missing, when he was sent away from my dad. My mom went to go have dinner with his brother and his wife, and
Mhm.
he had 4 kids. And my Uncle Jack turned to his son, Brad, and said, Brad, are you going to finish that? And looking at his dinner plate, and Brad's like, no. And he goes, okay. You're skipping dessert. Go to your room. Brad got up, walked to his room. And my mom and dad said, wow, he took that really well for a young kid. You know, most kids, you say, you're not getting dessert, they like kick up a fuss. And he says, yeah, he's fine with it because he's never had dessert. He has no idea what he's missing.
Oh no.
It's the same thing with these graphics cards. He's absolutely thrilled with it 2080 because he's never had a 5080 or a 6080 or 7080. He's never had any of those cards. So he's perfectly happy with it. He's got a 1080p screen and it looks fine. That's how I was. You had to convince me to upgrade to a 4K TV.
Yeah. And like, to be fair, 4K
And I
is
was
like,
720p for a long time.
yeah, okay, that's what I take issue with. Was it AC Wraith who had? Yeah, AC Wraith saying 1080p on gaming. Look, that's cool. 1080p is still kind of like the gold standard, still looks great. 720p to 1080p, you can notice that.
Actually,
And 720p looks blurry.
I had a 720i plasma for
Oh,
a
that's even
long time
worse.
until the plasma died, until the TV died. I kept it
It didn't
'cause
die.
it was fine.
It killed itself. It was like, I
In
have lived.
embarrassment, in shame, it killed itself.
I have lived for too long.
AC Ray says I play 720p Windows most of
Really?
the time. Yeah,
Because
it's
like
fine.
4K is what trips up a lot of consoles. It's what trips up. Trying to hit that 4K 60 frames per second benchmark is like still really, really hard for consoles and computers and
Mhm.
graphics card.
Mhm.
So yeah, going to 8K anything is not going to happen for at least another decade because 4K is really hard. Even
Right.
most 4K games are just 1080p upscaled to 4K.
Right. Yeah, the only reason why you'd want an 8K TV is just to say that you had an 8K TV because it's not going to make a
Exactly.
4K TV look any better. It's
No,
not going to make anything look any better.
no, it's just bragging rights.
It's bragging
I would
rights.
actually be curious, is there
It's a dick
anything,
measuring contest.
is there anything that is 8K?
No. There's nothing that's out that's not 8K other than like test, little promotional videos to show the.
Yeah, okay. On Reddit, there is no 8K content readily available. Most computers can't even handle it. Oh, here's a website called discover8k.com.
Oh no.
Okay, shh, do not tell Chris about this.
I'm sure he knows.
Okay, apparently there are a couple like 8K videos on YouTube, which are probably just, nature videos.
Mm-hmm.
There's some, it says that there's 8K video games, but you need a high-speed HDMI cable. And this claims that there are live TV broadcasts in 8K, but I do not believe that.
I doubt it.
No, in Japan.
In
NHK broadcasts some games in 8K.
Yeah.
Nothing in the US.
No, nothing in the US, and it won't be for years.
No.
Because the equipment needed to film it is just too dear. Well, we'd have to change everything for everybody. Maynard says, call me when you can play OG Yar's Revenge in 8K. That'll be a while.
Yeah.
So anything else?
That is all that I have.
All right. As much as I would love to sit here and talk about the stupidity of 8K and just jabber on with
Oh,
all of you.
I will just and this is a video that people should watch. Conan O'Brien has a Clueless Gamer segment on where he plays Borderlands 4.
Oh, really?
Hilarious.
Okay, I will look for that. I
Yeah.
was afraid you were going to say you should see the Charlie Kirk video.
Yeah, let's bring that up. Let's go on to X. Bring
No.
up the video.
So the day that happened, my boss was in the other room, and he's, as he's walking out the door, he's like, "So have you watched the Charlie Kirk video?" And I'm like, "No, not yet." He goes, "Don't."
What? The way he says that, hey, have you watched the Charlie Cook video? Like it's
No.
some
Because I mean,
debate or-
we're in the news space. I mean,
Yeah.
anything big that happens, somebody yells it out in the office so everybody knows. And so, of course, as soon as he was shot, and they were saying he was in intensive care, and my boss was like, "Oh, I watched the video." I knew instantly that guy's not in intensive care.
Jeez.
No way. No way. He says you could instantly see the guy was not gonna make it.
Okay. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but like
People are calling this video this generation's JFK video, like where the president was assassinated on live TV.
yeah. It's just that reaction of I heard he got shot, so I immediately went to watch the video.
Oh, this is what these people do. This is what people in the public, like that's their job. Their job is to know absolutely everything that happens the minute that it happens. He knows stuff like I'm good. He's great. And I don't know how he does it, but he finds out stuff long before I do. And I'm like almost constantly refreshing my news. And I've got banners and everything. As soon as I've got AP news, breaking news on my watch. So I see what's coming up, breaking news at all times. And he's always at least 30 minutes before me, 30 minutes ahead of where I am. So yeah, he probably knew that Charlie Kirk was going to get shot. That's how good he is.
Time.
Yeah. He lives in an alternate dimension. But yeah, I've heard don't watch the video. Now, when you said everybody needs to see this video, I'm like,
of all the things to bring up, it's like, hey, do you want to watch someone get murdered?
Well, there's only one video that's kind of like making the rounds. So
I guarantee you that Conan O'Brien's Clueless Gamer on Borderlands 4 will be more entertaining.
Corey Wallace says, I think my vid card is going through its YouTube videos to go blank black screens 80% of the time. Oh, yeah, it's time to get up. My edict is 10K.
Sir, we bow to you.
There is the link for the Borderlands 4 Clueless Gamer, which I will hopefully watch tonight before I go to bed. I'll watch it with Chris so we can enjoy it together.
Yeah.
All right. So with that being said, can we close this out so I can go get ready for my date?
Yes.
All right. Let's close this out. Whoops. Sorry about that. I moved the wrong slider. Thank you for listening to GameHounds. This has been GameHounds episode 793. We recorded this on Sunday, September 14th, 2025. I've been Edie Sellers, and with me has been Nick DiNicola. Ways to get a hold of us: gamehounds.net is our website. gamehounds@gmail.com is our email. We record this show live every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, here on YouTube, on Twitch, and Facebook. Facebook, we are The GameHounds. Twitch, we are The GameHounds. YouTube, we are GameHounds Vids, VIDS, as in videos, all one word. Please check us out live at any of those places. And if you are watching any of those places right now, please hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, please hit subscribe. It really, really makes a difference for us. Now, we also do this show as an audio podcast on Apple Podcasts. And you can also hear it on iHeartRadio and a number of other podcast syndicators. If you are listening, thank you for being a listener to our audio podcast. We appreciate you, and I think about you every week and try to make a better show, because it's very hard to do a visual show when you're also talking to considering the audio people. I'm thinking about you, and I want to make sure the show is good for you. And if you think I'm doing an okay job, please leave us some feedback on Apple podcasts, or hit a like, and don't forget to subscribe and tell your friends. Have them join us. Also, if you feel like it, find yourself not busy on a Sunday afternoon, come join us live, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch. We are Patreon funded. Thank you very much to all of our new patrons. We had several of them last week. It is very much appreciated. If you would like to become a patron, we only ask $1 a month. Not looking to get rich, just looking to offset some costs to do this show. Patreon.com/GameHounds in order to become a donor, a patron to the show. It is appreciated. Also, don't forget there is our Discord. Discord is the link is going to be on the screen. If not, you can always check the description wherever you are if you're not seeing the screen right now. Join our Discord, and you can be in there with Corey and AC Wraith and Maynard and everybody else, a bunch of people who aren't here. It's a great place to hang out, and also a great place to contact us. Thank you so much, everyone. We will see you next week. Have a great time. Have a great week. Bye, everyone. Oh, and go Giants, beat LA.
Yay.
Wild card, baby. Wild card. All right. I got to go take a shower and get ready and get dolled up and get in a car and go down to San Jose and be there by 5:30 so I can have pizza.
Go for it.
Have a great week, everyone. Bye.
Bye.